Hi. Okay, welcome to this week's collection of exam questions. These are crossover questions, so they are suitable for everyone, whether you're studying foundation or higher. The first question's there, ready to go. So it's a very snappy revision session, about 6 questions, where you can see the solutions immediately and get feedback straight away. So hit pause, have a go at that first question. Okay, so 10 to the 0, anything to the 0 equals 1. 10 to the negative 2. Now, the most common mistake here is people wanting to make that a negative answer. It's not. The negative 2 is just telling us that it's going to be a small number. So the way that I taught myself to remember this was I used to see that negative and think of it as a fraction line. And what we're actually going to do is the reciprocal of 10. So that puts 10 underneath, the 2 goes with it, and then you go on and work that value out because we are being asked to find that full value. We need to put these in order of size, so we are going to start with the smallest. Looking at these, they're all written very differently. This is in standard form. This appears to be standard form, but isn't because we've got 2 numbers, so that's something to be mindful of. The best way to deal with this is to get it into ordinary numbers so I can really make those comparisons. So this first one, 2.73 times 10 to the 3 means I'm going to move the decimal point 1 to 3 places, giving me 273 and 0 on the end. This is the negative 3. So this is making my number smaller because of that minus. So I'm going to go back 1, 2, 3. Point is now there. Fill that in, and I've got 0.0273. 273 times 10 to the 2 is 273, and just add in the 2 zeros. And this one's already an ordinary number. So now it's just a case of comparing them. So the smallest is definitely that one. This is the next smallest, the next one, and that is my biggest there. So I would rewrite this in the order that I've just worked out. So I've got 0.00273. Then it is 0.027. But remember to use the numbers that they gave you originally. That's always a very good plan. Next one. I'm running out of room. Last one would be 273 times 10 to the 2. Okay, next question. Let's get it so you can see the full question. Hit pause, have a go, and press play when you're ready. So this story is about red and blue counters. Matthew is taking one from the bag and he puts it back, and we can see that it's going back by this part here. It's the exact same fraction. There's still 3 red counters out of a total of 8. Completing the tree diagram requires me to just make sure that these branches here add to 1. So we want 5 8s, and of course there were 5 blue counters. So 5 8s again here, and this just repeats. Okay, next part of the question, work out the probability that Matthew takes 2 red counters. So 2 red counters would mean going this way and this way. I collect up the fractions as I go, and I've got 3 8s times by 3 8s. We always multiply across the tree diagram, and 3 8s times 3 8s is 9 over 64. Remember, we just do it with fractions. There is no need to look for cancelling when it comes to probability. They don't expect that. Okay, so this question is on the grid. So that's the grid. Draw the graph of x plus y equals 4 for the values of x from -2 to 5. So hit pause, have a go, and press play when you're ready. Okay, so if I need to draw a graph, I'm going to need coordinates. Coordinates are going to come from a table of values. So I've got my X values and my Y values. I've been told to do it from -2 to 5, sorry. And if you look at the axes here, my X axis is -2 to 5. So that really is mirroring the question. So we've got -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the graph is X plus Y equals 4. So I'm going to start right here. I always work backwards because that way I am working with positive numbers and they're generally easier to work with. So if my X value is 5, what would I need here to get the result of 4? And I would need -1. So -1 is going with the 5. Now, if my X value was 4, what would I need in order to create a 4? I wouldn't want to add or take anything, so it would be 0. If my X was 3, what would I need here to make 4? I would need +1 plus 1 makes my 4, 1 goes in there. And I should be able to start spotting a pattern here. We'll do one more just to make sure what I think I'm seeing is working. 2 plus 2, a +2. I can see that these are just going up 1, so I can just get on and fill the rest of that in without doing all the maths. Then it's just a case of plotting. So 5 minus 1 is here, 4, 0, 3, 1, 2, 2, and so on. And obviously I need to go all the way to the -2 and obviously to the 5 because that's what I've been asked. Do not leave it there. So many times I see just coordinates plotted and not the actual line. Remember, you must draw in the line. Now my software might go slightly off. It's not too bad. Draw in the line and you are job done. Okay, there's your next question. Make it a little bit bigger so you can see what's going on. Hit pause, press play when you're ready. Okay, so this question, I am being told that the area of the floor is 138. So I've got some information on the edges. I know the total area is 138. And I know this edge here is X, and that's what I've got to try and work out. So I'm going to split my shape and I'm going to find the area of this bit first. Area of a rectangle is base times height. So I've got 15 times 8 to go in there. That is 120. I know the total shape, remember, is 138. So I'm going to do 138, take away the bit that I know, and that's going to leave me 18. So I now know that the area of this shape is 18. That rectangle is 3 on this edge. I don't know that edge, but I know it equals 18. 3 times something is 18. 18 divided by 3 is 6. So 6 is the missing bit on that rectangle. And it's that helps me now go on and find the missing value of X. If the full length is 15 and 6 of the 15 is here, X takes the rest of the values. So 15 take away 6 is 9. X is equal to 9. Okay, and if you find these ones tricky, try and just, rather than worry about the X, just think, right, what do I know? You know how to find the area, base times height. So just start working on that and you'll be surprised how much the question then starts to open up to you. So don't always focus in on what they've asked. Focus in on what you know that you can try, and that would really help. There's the next one. So you can use that idea with this, okay? Read the question and then think, right, what am I looking at? What are my keywords? What do I know about this? How can I use it? Hit pause and press play when you're ready. Okay, so first keyword is square. Okay, my shape is a square. What do I know about squares? I know all the edges are equal. If I know all the edges are equal, I know that edge and that edge are equal. I'm being asked to show that the perimeter of the square is 10 centimeters. So what I need to know is the length of one of the edges. If I know the length of an edge, then I can just times it up by 4 and I can prove it's 10. So my problem actually is finding out what x equals so that I can then go on and work out the edge. And it's the fact right at the very beginning that helps me with this question. If it's a square, these are equal. If these are equal, I can write that fact down. 3x minus 2 is equal to x plus 1. Now I've written an equation to solve for x. I'm going to get a value for x once I finish this. So first thing I need to do is get these x's together. So I'm going to pick up the smallest set of x's. It's going to go across to the other side. It's going to land as take away. 3x take away an x is 2x minus 2 equals 1. Now I'm going to move the minus 2. It will land as plus 2 and 2x equals 3. I'm going to divide through by 2 and that is what my x equals. X equals 3 over 2 or 1.5. You work in whatever number sort of suits you best, really. So if I take my value for x and put it into this edge here, I've got x is 1.5 plus 1, which equals 2.5. I've now worked out that the edge is 2.5. 2.5, and I've got 4 equal edges because it's a square. 2.5 times 4 is equal to 10. So that all of this working, this final bit here, it all does what I've asked it to do. I've shown the perimeter is 10 centimeters. Okay, last question. Hit pause and press play when you're ready. Okay, so you may have gone into ratios with this. I'm going to go the algebraic way because I think it's really important that we are exposed to the algebra that's hidden in these types of questions in case we need it. Ratio would have worked as well. So when you read this, you've got Peter, Tarish and Ben sharing £54. And then they start talking about what they get. Tarish gets 3 times as much as Peter. Well, if I knew what Peter had, then I'd know what Tarish has. Ben gets twice as much as Tarish. So it all comes down to Peter, really. If I knew what Peter was, I'd know what everybody's was. So I would write, I've got Peter, Tarish, and Ben. Peter will get X amount. Tarish gets 3 times that. And then Ben gets twice as much. So that. You may well, if you've done the ratios, gone 1 to 3 to 6. It's exactly the same, really. And that's the thing with maths. You can often find a different route in. So as long as you've got your justification for your answer, there's no reason why you shouldn't get the marks. Okay, so I know that these together, so all of this together will total 54 because they share that 54 between them. So I know if I add that, I'll get 10 x's. That equals 54. Divide through by that 10 and x is equal to 5.4. So now I know what Peter gets. He gets £5.40. But I go back, read that last line, check again to see what it is I'm supposed to be doing. They want to know about what Ben gets. So Ben is getting 6 times 5.4, which is 32.4. Make sure you show your answer as money. That's £32.40. Remember that 0, remember the pound sign if they haven't given it to you. And that's it for this week. Hopefully that has been useful. I shall be posting every week, so you can keep going. I might even increase as we're getting closer to the exam now, so that people that want to do that little bit more have the opportunity to do so. So thank you for using Target Maths to do your revision, and I'll see you next time.